Ancient Chinese civilization, unlike its Mediterranean, Middle Eastern and Indian counterparts, showed little interest in crafting epic stories. Instead, its classical literature viewed the world from a surprisingly different perspective. Through lyric poetry and poetic philosophy, it both captured the voices of ordinary people experiencing familiar events and pondered the big issues: life, the universe, and everything. How, it repeatedly asked, could humans live in harmony with each other and the cosmos? And unlike Gilgamesh or the works of Homer, it never depicted tough, fierce, or cunning individuals as admirable. Though a wealth of material has made it to us across the span of 3,000 years, just two examples can shine much light on the remarkable qualities of Chinese classical literature. The first is the poem Boat of Cyprus. It's the 26th poem in the Book of Songs, a collection of 305 poems compiled sometime between the 10th and 7th centuries BCE in the Zhou dynasty's court. Boat of Cyprus is a fine representation of both the collection and the style of the era in general. Its author may have been a widowed lady, being forced into remarriage. The following excerpts reveal its strikingly modern heart, pained reflections of a tenacious individual under great family pressure, defending her identity and expressing her frustration. This heart of mine is no mirror, it cannot take it all. Yes, I have brothers, but brothers will not be my stay. I went and told them of my grief and met only with their rage. This heart of mine is no stone, you cannot turn it where you will. This heart of mine is no mat, I cannot roll it up within. I have behaved with dignity. In this no man can fault me. O sun, and you moon, why do you each go dim in turn? These troubles of the heart are like unwashed clothes. I think on it in the quiet. I cannot spread wings to fly away. Let us now turn our thoughts to the thoughts of butterflies. For our second example, which also contrasts sharply with the evolving outlook of ancient Western literature around the same time, comes from the work of the writer-philosopher Zhuang Zhou. He lived around the 4th century BCE, during the Warring States period, a time of great development in Chinese philosophy, and is generally held to be one of the founders of Taoism. Unlike Confucius, who trained young men for government service, Zhuang Zhou did not seek to establish a school, nor to build up a following. His philosophy was that we should aim to free our minds from politics, structures, and typical ways of thinking. He taught harmony with life, obtainable by mostly going with the flow. Zhuang Zhou wrote that language is never an accurate reflection of reality, and that our perceptions are usually based on learned definitions, giving rise to narrow perspectives. To remain true to this point, he even joked skeptically about his own book, which often uses humour, irony, paradoxes, and parables to try and stretch the reader's mind and views. Zhuang Zhou illustrates every point he makes by telling a story. So his work, though deeply reasoned, doesn't read like dry philosophy, but as a lively and engaging work of literature. One of its most famous passages is his butterfly story, here summarized using excerpts. Once upon a time, I, Zhuangzi, dreamt I was a butterfly, fluttering here and there. I was conscious only of my happiness as a butterfly, unaware that I was Zhuangzi. Soon I awakened, and there I was, truly myself again. But now I do not know whether I was then a man dreaming I was a butterfly, or whether I am now a butterfly dreaming I am a man. In essence, Zhuang Zhou thus discussed the very neuroscience of reality, amazingly, prefiguring scientific perception studies, and movies like The Matrix by thousands of years. Finally, let's consider what we could call the yin and yang of outlooks. Western, particularly Greek literature at the time, ran on a view that true heroes are always oppositional in nature, and if genuinely brave, will boldly challenge anyone, even the gods. This mode of thinking could still be seen many centuries later, permeating European culture, influencing history-shaping institutions like the British Empire's educational system. Appealing and romantic to many, it was also used to justify an imperialist mindset, the legacy of which was aggressive colonial expansion, wars, and the destruction of entire cultures. Early Chinese literature appears to completely reject any quasi-Homeric interpretation of greatness. Instead, with an occasionally comic tone, it accepts that forces greater than ourselves always sweep us along, so true mastery of life lies not in battling, but aligning ourselves with them.
Did that taste of an ancient culture's poetic soul intrigue you? Then compare it with another venerable society's approach, bringing the epic and the sacred together, in our fascinating Episode 7.